Hey everyone, it's Mara. Just doing an update. I thought for a while about what I wanted to do with my blog after my loss, and I figured I would just keep doing it. Just tell you about my loss, or whatever. I mean, if I'm not talking about my loss, at the very least, I hope that it helps ladies that are going through miscarriage or infant loss. That's the least I can do. I'm working full-time again. I've been back for a few weeks. Initially, it was a little hard going back, but after the first couple weeks, I did okay. It's been about a little over a month since we lost our son, Ronan, and about a month and a half since we lost our daughter, Siobhan. So that's where we're at timeline-wise. We're still in the depths of grief, pretty much. I mean, every day, pretty much cry every day. It's just hard. It's hard. I can't even tell somebody who hasn't been through it, and people can only imagine, how bad it is. You just don't know until you're doing it. So I'm seeing a counselor, which is a big step for me because I'm someone who doesn't really like counselors. And my husband said, you can't base what you know on counselors from the past, and then judge this counselor that you're seeing also, because, you just never know. There could be a good counselor out there for you. So I said, okay, you're right. So I'm going to give this one a try. I've had one session already where she got my history, we talked for a little bit, and we set some goals. And then this upcoming Friday, I'll have my second session. So our goals that we made were to work on guilt and to work on coping skills. And I don't know if I really have any coping skills, so that's definitely going to be a good one. And guilt-wise, lots of guilt. I mean, did I do anything wrong to lose my babies? Absolutely not. But I can go through like a number of things that I should have done, or this or that I feel guilty about. And maybe one day in the video I'll tell you all the things. I'll probably just bawl my eyes out through the whole entire video. So maybe today isn't the day, but one day I'll talk about it. So the other thing that I'm doing is I'm doing a grief photography class. It's online. You don't really attend the class. They give you like this little printout, and you just do it yourself. And you can email it in, or you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, really, which is nice. I mean, for those people that like to freestyle things, you can sign up for it. That was my dog. Bless you, Al. You can sign up for it. Go at your own pace. Do whatever you want. So it's a 4-week class. And it's called, I'll show you the thing again, it's called Illuminate, and it's by Beryl Ann Young. I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And how it works is for 4 weeks, each week you get a little handout thing, and you have a journal entry that you have to do, and then some photos that you have to do. And when I signed up for it, well, even before I signed up for it, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or if I wanted to do it. Like counselors, I was apprehensive about it, but I went ahead and did it, and I said, oh, what the hell. And so far, I'm about to start week 3. I actually love it. I'm having a lot of, not quote unquote fun, but I think it is helping a lot with the grief. But I've seriously thought about kind of finishing the baby room in a sense. I was doing a lot of sewing for the babies. I made their quilts, and I was working on their beds, the skirts for the crib, and I had a curtain I needed to sew. I'm just gonna finish doing it. It's a labor of love of sorts. I'm not gonna put the whole nursery together or anything like that, but I'm going to at least finish the few projects that I was working on. It's for them, really. I mean, I meant to do it for them. There's no reason why I shouldn't finish their projects. Even my husband, he was working on, I think I mentioned this in a video way back when I was pregnant still. He's working on he was working on a dresser for them, and we had an old dresser, so he had stripped the paint and sanded it down, and he was getting ready to paint it right before our loss. So even he's going to go ahead and continue finishing it for them. I was looking for like baby books for the babies, and they do have baby books for baby loss. I've only found, I think it was like 2 or 3, maybe 4. I'm going to say 4 total. In various places I found some baby books, and they were all okay. I just, you know what I didn't like the most is the cover, of all things. I just felt like, I don't know, they just, I can't tell you what it is. I just wasn't sure about them, and I didn't like them. I got this crazy idea that I was just going to make them a baby book, and I started working on it, started pulling things together, and it turned into like a project of sorts, another labor of love, to the point where I think that my books are nice. I think they're good, and I want to make them available to other people. So I've made my books. I designed all the books on my computer. I printed it out. I did some very minor book binding, and then I filled it out and put my baby's pictures in it and all of that stuff. So I'm going to show you a little bit what they look like. They're like little half sheets. They're booklets. When you have a loss, you don't need a whole book, unfortunately. There's just not a lot happened. You know, a lot happened, but not a lot to put in a book where, you know, you have a child that grows and they have their first word and all of that stuff. I mean, a lot of those things you don't get to experience. So it's like a little booklet, and like I said, I did the little saddle stitch binding myself. So, and I designed it all on the computer. You know, I designed all the things, so I'll show you a few pictures here. So there's our little embryos and pregnancy test that we took. There's me, pregnant. I didn't show you my husband because I don't know if he wants people to know what he looks like. So, but yeah, there's some pages, some stuff like that. There's our little girl. This is in her footprints. And that's her picture. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of good pictures of her, unfortunately, but there she is. And there's some little ultrasound pictures of her. And here's me in the hospital with her. She's there, you can't see her, but she's in there. And here's the little boxes after we cremated her. These are the little boxes that they came in, so that's her there in the little pink box and her cremation certificate. And just, I put pages in there for journaling and stuff like that. I put pages to, I don't know if you can see it, but to write down your thoughts and feelings each baby's birthday. And some more journaling pages. So yeah, that's Siobhan's little book. It's like a pretty green color, like aqua green color. And here's little Ronan's booklet. It's like a nice yellow color. I'm not really a blue for boys, pink for girls kind of girl. That's just not me. So, so yeah, here's this, and his has like a little cloud theme in it throughout the book. Hers has like a bug, nature, flower type thing. So I put some similar pictures in it since it was a twin pregnancy. And there's his pictures and his little footprints, my little baby boy. And I got some better pictures of him, but unfortunately it's because a few weeks prior we had lost his sister, and we had been down that road and we kind of knew what to do, unfortunately. Never fun to know how to do that. There's he and I sleeping. He wasn't sleeping in the photo. He had already passed, so. And there's, again, he was in the little blue box. These are the boxes the funeral home gave us, and put them in, and then we bought an urn, so, that we put them in, so. But yeah, I made these books, and sorry, it got really dark in here because there's a storm outside. The only other thing that is not really happening yet, but I'd like to talk about it and keep it in my videos because it's important. It's important to me. It's important to people watching, I think, if they're going through a similar thing. And that is what's next. You know, are we going to adopt? Are we going to try to do IVF again? Blah, blah, blah. What's next? We're not ready to take that next step. Like I said, it's only been a month since we lost our little boy and a month and a half since we lost our little girl. So we're not far in the grief process. I find, and if you watch my incompetent cervix video, I found that doctors and nurses after this talk very nonchalantly about trying again. And after you've just had a loss, it is an excruciating thing for people to say to you. You don't even want to think about that. You just want your babies back. You just want the babies that you were supposed to have. You know, and it's not that you don't want other kids or anything like that. It's just that at that moment, you don't want to think about having other kids. You want your babies back. So throughout this process, you know, talking with doctors and nurses, they've talked about, you know, oh, well, you can do this, this, and this, or when you get pregnant again, we can put a cerclage in your cervix, and yeah, you'll be good to go. And all I'm thinking is, why don't we do this with this pregnancy? Then I'd have these babies. Don't get me started on that again. Watch that other video. You can hear all my anger there. But the truth of the matter is eventually you think about those things, and I think we'd like to try to conceive again. But the issue is it's scary. It's absolutely frightening. Because we don't want to go through this again. We don't want to lose babies again. It's just no. So I don't know what's going to happen. We don't have the money for IVF. I talked about adoption a few videos back about maybe saving up for adoption. That's going to be years and years from now because of how expensive it is. So we may try to save to do IVF again. A few people have asked about like a GoFundMe account, so I am going to put a link below for an account that my family members had set up for my husband and I when our loss happened. So they did donate some money to us. So I'll put the link to that account below, and if anyone is interested in donating, it's always appreciated. But that our plans right now are to do something, I'm just not sure what. And it's probably, we might try another IVF. I'm guessing next year sometime maybe. That's just if we can get over that hump. I mean, and I definitely would like to have some videos about the fear of another loss. It's frightening. My husband is probably more frightened than me, and I don't even know if that's possible. If he's more frightened, he's very, very, very frightened to the point of not doing anything. Where I'm also very, very, very frightened, but there's this quote out there that says if you can't never give up on something, you can't go a day without thinking about. And of course, right now, all I think about is my babies that I lost, Ronan and Siobhan. But at the same time, I want to be a mother so bad, so bad. It's normal, it's natural for me. It's in my blood. And anyone trying to conceive understands that. So even though I lost my babies, I still want a baby. I want offspring, as simple as that. You know, I want to go through all those things and teach them and love them and grow up with them and see them go to kindergarten and all of those things. I still want them. I wanted them with those babies, but it didn't happen. So, something's gonna happen. I don't know what. I don't know when, but I think we'd like to try to do something. Try to conceive. It's still on the plate. Sometimes it sounds crazy, but it's still an option. So I'm 30. I'll be 34. I'm kind of old. Not terribly old, but I'm kind of old. But it is still an option. It's on the table. So that is it for now. I'll do another update, and I will tell you about the rest of my photography class, and let's see, probably my counseling, and yeah, I'll just tell you what's going on, and we'll go from there. So thank you everybody for being subscribers. I've got a few new subscribers. I really appreciate it. I would love any questions. I try to answer them in the comments, so if you put a question down below, I try to just get back and answer right then and there. But if I get tons of questions, I may just do a whole video on stuff, so I'm happy to do that. But if I just get a few questions, I'll just answer it down in the comment section. But everybody is wonderful. I'm so glad to have you as subscribers.